Hi everyone, it's Tammy with Frou-frou Studio and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do another video for the new series that I started. I was watching YouTube and today I am going to show you how to do something that I saw on a video by Ceri the Crafter, and I will link that video in the description box below so you can go and see his version. But I thought this was a really cool thing that he came up with, and so I wanted to share it with you guys, and I have already tried it and I love it. So let's get started and see what we can do. Now, Ceri is calling these Antiquarian Pages. I believe is what he is calling them. And basically, you just start with a piece of regular paper, however you want it. And this is just a regular 8.5 by 11 tea-dyed paper that I folded in half, and so it will become a journal page. And so obviously this is for, you know, a journal that is probably going to be you know, I don't know how much room you guys leave when you do this, but it's going to be approximately, if I can get the words spit out today, a 9 by 6 journal or something like that. So all the pages would be 8.5 by 11 pages folded in half or smaller. So the first thing that he did in his video is he took a piece of Post-it note or just some kind of paper, and we're going to make some masks to use. And so I don't want straight edges, and so I'm just gonna put the straight edge, and he does 3 of these per page just to kind of give it a level, you know, an even layout. So, I don't know if you guys watch Ceri, but I enjoy watching him. He is an awesome collage artist, if you've not seen any of his collages. He did Marguerite Miller last year. He is not doing it this year, but he is doing some of his own collage work, and he is really super good at it. And he also has a lot of kind of unique ideas that I have not seen before, this being one of them. And so I enjoy watching him. He is from Wales, and so he has that wonderful British accent, and he's very calming in his videos, and so he's definitely a good one to, if you just want to relax and watch videos, he's a good one to follow. Okay, now the next thing you need is a script stamp. It does not have to be this one. It can be any one that you have. I use this one because it is my favorite. I got it at Hobby Lobby. I do not know what the name of it is, and I got it quite a while ago during one of their 50% off sales. It's a Stampedia stamp. And I don't see, oh, it says, it's so little I can't read it. Script, text, something. So it's very tiny on the end, but it is a very good stamp, and I use it a lot for my script backgrounds. I am going to use hickory smoke, archival hickory smoke to stamp with, because I want it to have the appearance that it's been handwritten with a pencil. So I'm just going to ink this up real quick, and we're going to stamp it with our mask on there. Hope everybody is doing good and staying cool. It's been warm for sure. I already did this video once. I did it yesterday, and we had a storm that knocked our power out for hours. And when I mean hours, I mean almost 12 hours. And our cable people here, which is a good thing, whenever there's a power outage, they hook up a generator, a gas ran generator, to the main cable line, you know, that just happens to be at the end of our property because we're on a corner. And it allows you to still have internet even though you don't have electricity, which that part is pretty awesome because, you know, you can use your phones or your iPads or, you know, battery operated stuff to continue on. But I had almost finished my video yesterday, and you know, it had been several hours since the power came back on, and the generator, I guess, was about to run out of gas, and so he came back to remove it, you know, and flip it back onto electrical power or whatever. Well, of course, as soon as he unplugged that generator, we lost internet, and so I lost about half of my filming and didn't know it when it was happening, and so my video got ruined. But that's okay. We'll just do it again and we'll be good. Okay, so I have just stamped that with a script stamp, and now I'm going to take my mask off, and you're going to see I have these 3 little blank spots. Now, what we're going to do in those is, the idea here is that we are creating a journalist page, somebody that has been journaling about something. You know, it can be birds, it could be flowers, it could be, you know, sea life, it could be whatever. In my particular case, I am going to choose, for this one, bees. Now, the one I did yesterday in the video, I did mushrooms, and this is kind of what the finished product is going to look like. And so for today's, I'm going to do bees kind of in that same fashion. I've got my stamp platform here just so I can make sure everything's going to stamp really well, since I'm not going to get a second chance. Now, for this one, it's, of course, wood-mounted, and so I'm just going to have to hope that I can get a good stamp, but this is a good seasoned stamp, so I don't think that I'm going to have a problem with it. But I'm going to stamp on this piece of cardstock right here, or craft paper, just to make sure that I feel like I'm inking. Yeah. See, that one's good and seasoned, so I don't have to worry about getting a bad stamp, I don't think. I hope. Alright, so I'm going to put this one down here. There we go. So we have a good stamp there. And then I have some little ones, and I am gonna use my stamping thing for those just to make sure that I'm able to re-stamp if I need to. Just kind of hold that down. And these are just little clear stamps. I know this one is Tim Holtz and it's an actual rubber stamp, but the others are, you know, clear stamps, and I'm not sure whose they are. But I think I'm going to put this one here, and then which one of these do I want? I don't know which one of these I like better. I want pretty realistic looking ones. You know, actually both look okay. I could use both of them. I may do that. See if I can get this one to stick to the... stick to my platform. We'll do these two first, and then I'll do the thicker rubber one, because I may have to flip my top over to the rubber side. I don't know if it'll stick to this side or not. Okay, those are all pretty good. All right, so let's put the rubber one maybe about right there. See if it'll stick. Oh, let me take this one off too. That still has some ink on it, so when I laid it down there and stamped, hopefully we can get it back in the same spot. Okay, that's good. Now, I have this flower, and I'm just going to I thought I might need something to kind of fill in the rest of these blanks, but I'm thinking other than this one, I may not need anything. Now, Ceri did say that it is best to not let the stamps run over your text, because you want it to look like that you've been sketching out in the field, and then you've made, you know, notes about what you're doing. So you don't want it over your script, if you can help it. Okay, let's do that one again. I thought that might be the case for that. I don't think I've ever used this little flower stamp. And I think this one came in a Ceri, I think is how you say it, monthly subscription box, which I don't do anymore, but I did for about a year. Okay, that outside edge just does not want to, wants to give me grief here. I should have primed it probably. I think that's good enough. Okay, so there's all of our stamping done. Now what we're going to do is I am going to break out my colored pencils, and we're going to put some color on these stamps and make them a little bit more, look a little bit more like sketches. Let's see. I'll put my paper here so you can see what I'm doing. Alright, so let's get kind of a yellowy color. And this doesn't have to be real precise. I mean, you want it to look like you've been doing it in the field, so, you know, perfection's not the goal. And you could use, you know, you don't have to use colored pencils. You could use watercolors. You could use your alcohol markers. You could use oxide inks and a paintbrush with some water. You know, you could use several things. Let's make these flowers. Let's use this green. And you're just adding some color. And let's make the flowers let's do a brown center like a black-eyed Susan, and maybe like an orange. That way we don't have all yellow going on. Maybe like this color. I'm going to get enough brown in that one, or I may not even have done it. There we go. Alright, and then on a different green, maybe this one. Kind of ground this a little bit. And let's put a little bit of color on the wings. No, I want like this is a white. I don't really want, I want a tint of blue. So maybe if I do the white first. Or maybe even a gray. Do I have a light gray in here? Sorry, I'm there's my other pencils here. Sure you can't see that. I'm just giving them a little tint of blue. Okay. And I see one spot that's going to drive me crazy. Right here where I kind of went over the... Went over more than I wanted to. And this is a Mono Zero eraser. And it's by Tombow. And it's got a really small eraser on it, and it's really good for getting into small spots, and it's also good for reverse I don't know exactly what to call it, but like reverse coloring. So say I colored a whole background a particular color, then I could take this and draw with it and take the pencil off, and it would leave no color, if that makes any sense whatsoever. Okay, now I want to establish a background that doesn't go in there, and I think I'm going to use this color. And now Ceri did not do this in his, but I feel better than it just being on the tea stained paper. And it, to me, it makes the picture spit out your words, makes the picture stand out a little better. So I'm gonna just lightly take this blue and kind of go around my image, and I'm gonna go right up to where the script is. And kind of in and out the script. Because if you are sketching, or at least when I'm sketching, I'm going to do, a background as well as whatever I'm doing. Or at least the semblance of a background. Maybe not a whole background, but at least give the idea of one. And then to kind of calm that down, let me stick my pencil back in here. I keep trying to stick that other blue one back in there, and it doesn't go in there. I'm going to take just my Magic Rub eraser, and I'm going to go over it real lightly. and knock that back, because I do not want it to be the prominent thing, but I want it to be there. So you can just very lightly erase your background. Now, if you're using watercolors, of course, you know, you can do this. Or if your colored pencils are water soluble, you can, you know, just wet it and do it. But mine aren't, so I'm using the eraser. And you can kind of take those really harsh lines and smooth them down. Okay, so there we go. There's our page. Now, I picked out this lady to put on here because to me, I don't know why, but she looks like a beekeeper to me. So I thought she would look cute on there. And then I think I want to put some little labels or numbers or something on here where she's kind of classified her bees. So let's see what we've got in this little tin. See if we've got something that we can use. I went to this one first because I know most of the things in here are botanical kind of things. There's one that says specimen. I could use that. Natural Historic Society. That one's kind of big. That one's so small I can't read it. This one says specimens. That one says specimens. That one says botany. If we were doing plants, that'd be cute. I can't read what that one says. Private collection. Field label. There's a round one. I saw another round one, but it had another one stuck to it. I guess I had put it on something and then decided, but it does have the specimen. I could do something like that, and then use a round one there, and then use something down here. That might work. And then I thought maybe put that behind her. Like that. As I dump things everywhere, trying to hurry. Okay, so let's sync these up real quick. It's already inked. Okay, ink her page. I don't like that blue blob right there. And cause some wrinkles here so I can rub my dauber across it really lightly, and it'll just pick up the wrinkles without getting it everywhere. Okay, so let's get all that glued down now. So I think I had this one. Yeah, I've pulled that off something else. Changed my mind, I guess, at some point. Let's put the square one down here. And a little circle. I'm telling you, either these things are really small or my eyes are getting really bad. It's probably a little of both. Oh, this is one of my ladies that I didn't use when I stamped the back of it. I thought I had used all those. There is a video for that if you haven't seen those. And let's add some stuff to make it look like it's a little more worked in. For example, let's make these labels look like if they were taped in with some old tape. May not get the back off that one. It didn't have a very good starter piece. Yeah, let's just cut another one. So I'm not sitting and fiddling with that. There's a video for this tape as well where it's just packing tape and alcohol ink. Oops, stuck to my finger. Okay, like that, looking good. And let's do some drips and some, maybe a coffee ring down here in the corner. You can tell I use this stencil a lot. Let's do, not like that, I think. And let's do a splatter over here. Maybe a little splatter up here. Let's do in some corners. Oh my gosh, have you guys seen Louise Heinzel's video on how she grunges up her journals? If you have not, you need to go watch it. It is hilarious. I just love to watch her. She's so talented. Okay, so now we have a grungy journal page that we can add to our journal. And I really like those Ceri. Like them. Like I said, the you know, that's endless really what you could do. You could do anything that, you know, you could be journaling about. and just do your, you know, whatever kind of stamps that you have. And, you know, just kind of make your own pages. And they would look good together, too, in a journal. Like, you could do several. And you could do leaves. When I was doing this yesterday and making the first video, all these ideas were going through my head. And I was thinking how pretty this would be with some leaves and some trees and acorns and pine cones and that kind of thing in a fall journal. Wouldn't that be pretty? So I may do something like that when it gets closer to fall and I start doing my autumn makes. I may do a small one and do just fall colors and fall things. I think that would be really pretty. So there you go. There's episode number 2. Thank you, Ceri, so much for sharing your talent with everyone. And this is a great idea. I really like it, and I can really see myself making several of these in the future. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will be back soon for the next video, which will be what? Margaret Miller, I think, will be the next one. But until then, everybody stay safe and stay healthy. And please try and stay cool through this awful heat wave that we're having. And I will see everybody next time. Bye.